16% of all women are not even sure if they've ever had an orgasm at all. Today's video, I really want to talk about how you are going to get to orgasm if you've ever had one, and what can we do to get us there even quicker. Yeah, that's today. Before you go any further, hit the bell, subscribe, and like this video. That really gives it all that YouTube algorithm stuff. It will make it head out and get this message out, because I really enjoy this time that we spend together, and I think the message is important to get out there as well. For so many women, orgasm is an elusive expression, an elusive thing. And what has happened, I believe, is because we see orgasm from a space that's really not about how women have experienced orgasm, but how society has chosen to make us believe that orgasm is supposed to be. For most of us, we have lived under a colonial and patriarchal system that has told us that to get it in, to be sexual, to have orgasm, you gotta have a wham bam, thank you ma'am, and that means that you get a penetrative sex and somehow you're supposed to orgasm vaginally. Well, I'm here to tell you our best way for women to orgasm is by using some sort of pressure or touch on our clitoris. And if that's happening for you, well, you definitely know that penetration is not going to be the best way for women to get there. And in fact, it's almost like a secondary thing. Yeah, it's like dessert on your icing. You can learn how to get to vaginal orgasms, and there are many women, about a third, who can actually receive and get to orgasm vaginally. But for most women, that's more of a learned space. It's something that we've got to feel into and practice to get perfect. When you think about even the way that we look at sex, hitting a home run, this idea of us being, all the bases that we've got to travel to get there, that's very much a perspective of how males go in. The idea of being in our yang energy, where we can be forceful and push it in and just have the pleasure and the release happens. But for most women, it's much more of a smoother flow. We're in our yin energy, where we have to kind of warm up to the space, feel into the motion, get ourselves hot and heavy, and then the fireworks will happen. So how do we come to orgasm? Well, for most women, it's about creating the right container. What I mean by that is we got to make sure that all things are right for us. Take, for example, I don't know if you've ever been in an experience where maybe you have felt cold, and all you can think about is you want to be with your partner and be in the moment, but your feet are freezing and you don't want them to rub up against your man because your feet are cold. Well, you know what? If you put on some socks, that would have equaled up the experience, and you could have been much more into the pleasure of your moment. So for women, it's very important that we create the right atmosphere, that we can be just all in the experience and not worrying about it, because for us, orgasm happens in the mind first, and then it will show up in the body. To be able to have orgasm, we need three things: safety, stimulation, and surrender. Now, to get to stimulation, of course, that happens. That's the lovemaking, that's the passion, that's just the, the kissing on each other. And eventually, that may be your penetration. But for us to get to that spot, the key thing that we need is to be able to open up. Safety has to be created. Better sex happens when you know your partner. And for For real, let's not say you can't have great sex with just somebody you meet. That happens too. Sometimes there's just an electrics, but normally good sex is something that flows over time, or it's really being in tune with your body. So knowing the pleasure spaces of your body help to create a really good time in the bedroom. Sex also is important for us to be able to open up to that space. So when you and your partner have created safety, or you yourself know your body and have explored in a safe way, it opens you up to the crucial stage, which is the last one, which is surrender. Surrender is when you are feeling good, when you have let your hair down. You don't care what the hair looks like anymore. You are so in the moment and in the expression of your pleasure. When you surrender, it opens your body up to be able to experience that moment of release. It opens you up to be able to enjoy what your partner may be giving to you, or what the sensations are offering to you when you are in your own practice. Peak pleasure or peak sexual climax happens and requires the experience of all of you. It requires that surrender. It's important though to make sure that you are ready. And the best way to be ready, I've toted it in this one video here, is about creating a pleasure practice that is good for you. And pleasure practice is all about taking the pressure off of even your partner, creating a space that you know the best that you want for yourself. Imagine what happens when you connect with somebody and you don't have to wait for them to pleasure you. You can tell them how to pleasure you. That opens up so many doors for both of you to feel good in the space. You'll be able to say, you know what, it's okay if maybe that first time you were a bit nervous, or I was a bit nervous. We can work together because there's no shame in our sexual lovemaking. It's so alright to create that truth for yourself. It's a great way for you to maximize your orgasm experience. Now, if you like my video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I really enjoy this time that I get to vibe with you. And if you truly like me, take a picture of me going sexy right now and tag me on Instagram under Carrie Sutra. Hit me up in my DMs. I really want to hear from you. This is a message that I really want to send on forward, and every little bit of sharing, it's caring. It helps. Till next time. Bye.